Hey everybody, Anime Abraham here and welcome back to another video where today we'll be continuing my What If series on What If I was in Dragon Ball, also known as What If Anime Abraham was in Dragon Ball. When we last left off this series, we had finished off the Saiyan saga and now we are moving onward to the Namek saga. Now that Vegeta is fully recovered, Goku and I decide to immediately start training for the battle against Frieza with Vegeta, Raditz, Gohan, I, and Goku. Goku and I immediately start to get excited about the new powers that we will unlock. I tell him not to get too excited as that will take progress. We then hear from King Kai that Frieza will arrive on our planet in a total of 2 years. This is because Frieza has a brain in this scenario and has decided to train up his army so that way they can defeat us. And little does he know that we have been training as well. Anyway though, we begin our training for the 2 years before the battle with Frieza so that way we can face off against him and ultimately crush him in battle. During the 2 years that we train for the battle, we train under gravity levels that are much higher than the gravity levels seen in the actual canon of Dragon Ball. Instead of just training at 100 times gravity, we train at 500 times gravity. If you thought Goku's power increase to over 8,000 to over 90,000 was a stretch in the Namek saga in just 6 days, just imagine what kind of potential power increase he would receive if he trained under 500 times normal gravity, especially if it's over 2 years. During the 2 years that we train under the 500 times normal gravity, we not only focus on mastering the Kaioken, but also mastering the Ikari form. For those of you who don't know what the Ikari form is, I'll briefly explain it. In the 2018 film Dragon Ball Super Broly, Broly achieved an amazing new power known as Ikari, and using this power, he was able to gain the power of a Great Ape without being in the Great Ape form. And for those who don't know, the Great Ape transformation offers the user a 10 times power multiplier. So imagine a Goku that trained under 500 times normal gravity for 2 years combined with the Ikari form. And this is not just a Goku training by himself. No, this is a Goku that has an equally strong training partner beside him, besides even more sparring partners to train with. Anyway though, the power increase that we get from these 2 years of gravity training is insane. Thanks to our mastery of the Ikari form, we not only are able to multiply our power by 10, but also stack Kaioken on top of it. However, since we are in the process of mastering the Kaioken technique along with combining with our Ikari forms, we are just able to push it just to times 5. But don't worry my friends, we are not only strong enough to beat Frieza post our 2 years of 500 times gravity training, but we are also strong enough to annihilate Frieza in battle, as our power levels currently are 750 million and 1 billion, with Goku having the power level of 750 million and I having the power level of 1 billion. This is due to me training much harder than Goku did, due to having more motivation than Goku besides liberating the Saiyans from Frieza's rule. My motivations for training, you may be wondering, avenging my biological father as well as freeing the planets from Frieza's rule. The drastic power increase doesn't extend to just me and Goku. Oh no, instead all the other Saiyan Z fighters have power levels that are equal, in that they have power levels of 120 million each. So imagine what would happen if all the Saiyan Z fighters gained up on Frieza. For those of you who don't know, Frieza's full power was around 120 million, meaning that all the other Saiyan Z fighters are equal to Frieza in his full power. Anyway though, the battle with Frieza is finally upon us, and let's commence the battle with Frieza. The battle with Frieza is largely very easy compared to what it was in the initial canon, as Gohan, Krillin, along with the other Z fighters deal with the Ginyu Force rather easily. Even though the Ginyu Force actually trained and increased their power quite a lot, they are still not enough to defeat us Z fighters, as the Ginyu Force each have power levels from 45,000 to 500,000, and that is nothing in comparison to the power levels of our Z fighters. Don't forget that these versions of the Z Fighters each have power levels of 120 million. That is for the Saiyans. Now it's time to talk about the Earthlings. The Earthlings have power levels of 45 million. Not really as strong as the Saiyans, but still very, very strong for the Namek Saga nonetheless. And with these extraordinarily high power levels, they are easily able to defeat the Ginyu Force all by themselves. Because of this, Frieza starts to panic and immediately transforms into his final form. But unfortunately for Frieza, he did not train at these 2 years. Instead, he just let his army as well as the Ginyu Force train. So Frieza still has the same power level of 120 million. The human Z Fighters at first deal with him very, very easily. However, though, they do not realize that Frieza is heavily suppressed. Once Frieza decides to use 50% of his full power, Frieza manhandles the other Z Fighters, easily pinning them down and beating them to the point where they need a senzu bean. Luckily for the human Z Fighters, us Saiyans arrive to help tangle with Frieza. All the other Saiyan Z Fighters tangle with Frieza and are easily beating him down due to us Saiyans having power levels of 120 million instead of the 3 million and 2 million seen in the original Dragon Ball canon. Because of this, Frieza gets overwhelmed by our combined assault and gets angry. He becomes furious to the point where he unlocks a fifth form. Yes, my friends, I am giving Frieza a fifth form in this scenario. Frieza's fifth form is relentless and immensely powerful. With a power level of 750 million, he is equal to Goku within his base form. The Z Fighters that are Saiyans get easily manhandled by Frieza's new unlocked fifth form, which leaves only me and Goku to take on Frieza. Goku steps up first and is evenly matched with Frieza. The clash is relentless, with both fighters releasing shockwaves that easily blow off chunks of the planet Earth and the environment below. Goku is enjoying himself in the fight, seeing as though Frieza is the only challenge that he had brought to him. That wasn't me. Anyway though, the clash gets more intense with each passing second, with both fighters adapting to each other's moves. Thanks to this brand new adaptability, Goku's power increases to 800 million within his base form. If you are wondering why Goku's power level got higher as he was fighting, it is because Zenkai boosts work in two different ways. They not only buff a Saiyan once they are near death or are about to be defeated, but they also buff a Saiyan's power in terms of adaptability. If you give a Saiyan long enough, they will eventually adapt to your moves, and this is what is happening to Goku. Frieza then decides to unleash even more of his power, increasing his power level to 850 million. The clash gets more and more intense, with half of the environment that we are on being blown off in the process, with each and every chunk of the earth breaking off the planet like a piece of chocolate. I finally decide that I have had enough of this and decide to join Goku in the fight against Frieza. Goku obviously gets upset because he was enjoying himself, but then I tell Goku that I had enough of this and it's finally time to finish this. Goku understands and we both power up into our Ikari forms. Thanks to Goku's adapting during the fight with Frieza, Goku's power level increases to equal to mine at a power level of 1 billion. And thanks to our Ikari forms, both of our power levels are now at 10 billion. This makes us more than a match for Frieza at this point. We launch a coordinated assault on Frieza, firing a barrage of punches and kicks combined with a volley of energy blasts. This severely damages Frieza and angers him even further. In retaliation for this, Frieza aims one of his death beams at Gohan. This easily angers us, and angers us to the point where we transform. Transform into the Warrior of Legend, aka the legendary Super Saiyan transformation. Thanks to our angers at a boiling point, we were now able to transform into the legendary Super Saiyan. Thanks to our new legendary Super Saiyan transformations, we now have power levels of 500 billion each. Thanks to our angers at a boiling point as well, we instantly wail on the newly injured Frieza. In essence, we leave Frieza looking like this by the time we are done with him.
Ah!
If you knew where that clip was from or know where that clip is from, you are an absolute legend in my eyes. Anyway, though, guys, back to the what if. We are angry to the point of almost being impossible to calm down, but with the help of Bulma, we eventually calm down. We then mourn over the loss of Gohan, who fought valiantly against Frieza. Bulma, of course, cries since she just lost her now 5-year-old son. Anyway, though, even though we defeated Frieza, the death of Gohan still sours the mood. However, though, Kami tells us that the Dragon Balls are ready to go, and we instantly gather up the Dragon Balls to revive Gohan. Soon after we gathered the Dragon Balls, Gohan is revived. What new abilities will Gohan have in Part 3, and what new threats will appear in Part 3 as well? Find out on the next episode of What If Anime Abraham was in Dragon Ball. Anyway, though, guys, with that being said, that's gonna about do it for today's video. See you guys later. Goodbye, and remember the Anime Abraham Army loves you and will always love you. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with a friend. With that being said, though, guys, peace out, and I'll catch you on the road. But before I end this video fully, I would just like to say thanks to everyone who's been showing the series such positive support, as it motivates me to make more parts of the series, and not only that, but it also motivates me to make more videos like this. Also, whoever guesses where the clip is from correctly will receive a free shout out from me, Anime Abraham. And with that, guys, see you guys next time on part 3 of What If Anime Abraham was in Dragon Ball.